Embark on a composting adventure in the smallest of spaces. Ready to turn your kitchen scraps into gardening gold? Composting is a marvelous transformation, a magic trick performed by nature. Picture this: your leftover apple cores, coffee grounds, and vegetable peels metamorphosing into a rich, fertile soil that gives life to vibrant plants. It's not just magic, it's science. And the best part? You don't need a vast garden to make it happen. No backyard? No problem. Discover how even the tiniest kitchen or balcony can become a compost powerhouse. Composting isn't just eco-friendly, it's a science that enriches soil and reduces waste. This magic happens through decomposition, a natural process where organic material is broken down by microorganisms. As your kitchen scraps decompose, they transform into nutrient-rich compost, a veritable feast for your plants. This cycle not only gives new life to your waste, but it also improves soil structure, enhances water retention, and encourages healthy root growth. So, are you ready to dive deep into this fascinating process? Let's break down how composting works, one scrap at a time. Worm composting, or vermicomposting, uses red wigglers to break down your scraps. These little wrigglers are nature's finest recyclers, turning your kitchen waste into nutrient-rich compost in no time. Setting up a worm bin is a simple process. All you need is a container with ventilation, some bedding material like shredded newspaper, and of course your worms. Start by adding the bedding and then introduce your red wigglers. Now you might be wondering, what do these worms eat? Well, they love vegetable peelings, fruit scraps, coffee grounds, and even tea bags. But remember, no meat, dairy, or citrus. Once your bin is set up, the magic begins. The worms munch through the scraps, producing worm castings, a coveted compost that's rich in nutrients. Maintenance is crucial to keep your worm bin thriving. Keep it moist but not too wet, and ensure it's neither too hot nor too cold. Here's how to set up your worm bin for optimum results, ensuring your little wrigglers are happy and productive. Bokashi composting is perfect for fermenting your kitchen waste. This Japanese method of composting combines your kitchen waste with a special ingredient, bokashi bran. Bokashi bran is a mixture of wheat bran, molasses, and effective microorganisms, which kickstart the fermentation process. So how does this work? It's simple. Start with an empty bokashi bin, layer your kitchen waste, and then sprinkle a generous amount of bokashi bran on top. The microorganisms in the bran get to work, breaking down the waste and turning it into nutrient-rich compost. Remember, it's a fermenting process, not a rotting one, so there's no foul smell. In fact, a sweet pickled odor is a good sign that your bokashi composting is going well. In about 2 weeks, you'll have a bin full of pre-compost, ready to be dug into your garden or added to a traditional compost pile. Learn how to layer your scraps with bokashi bran and the secrets to a successful fermenting process. Balance is key in composting. To create a thriving compost pile in a small space, it's essential to get the mix of green and brown materials just right. Green materials are your kitchen scraps. Think fruit and vegetable peels, coffee grounds, and tea bags. Brown materials, on the other hand, include things like cardboard, paper, and dried leaves. A good rule of thumb is to aim for a ratio of about 3 parts brown to 1 part green. Moisture control is another crucial aspect of successful composting. Your compost pile should feel like a well-wrung-out sponge, not too wet and not too dry. If your compost pile is too wet, try adding more brown materials. If it's too dry, add more green materials or a bit of water. Odor management is the final piece of the puzzle. A well-balanced and properly moist compost pile should not smell bad. If you're noticing a foul odor, it's likely that your compost pile is too wet or doesn't have enough air circulation. Try turning the pile to introduce more air and adding more brown materials to absorb excess moisture. Discover how to mix your greens and browns, manage moisture, and keep things odor-free, all within the confines of your small space. Meet composting heroes just like you, turning their small spaces into composting wonders. From a high-rise apartment balcony to a compact kitchen corner, they're transforming kitchen scraps into rich, fertile soil. Their passion proves that composting isn't confined by space, but rather inspired by it. These composting heroes are making the most of their small spaces, and so can you. Join our composting revolution. Embrace the journey ahead, learning more every step of the way. Subscribe for more green living tips and tricks. Together, We're making the world greener, one scrap at a time.